This is the routine for input text boxes. It's in subprogram 7, tab number 12. It starts out giving an XY position of 20,100, and it sets an L control register to 80. That's how many characters are in a row. Then it sets the control register M to the number of columns, 20. It sets control register N to number of rows, 10. So there's 10 times 20 text entries. That's 200. Well, the font is set to bold 13 point, and here is the box T command, make the boxes. It knows that it needs to use L, M, and N because 123,000 was added to the number of places. There are 4 character places for each text data. It's assigned a click number, therefore each box is updatable. And you got to understand that since there's a click number here and there are 200 boxes, the click numbers go from 100 almost to 300 or 299. The 4 character long entries are all in text data. So text data is 200 times 4 long, or 800 characters long. Now we're going to go get the index out sort for this data. First thing we have to do is make sure we're starting without any data in the sort entries. So if we make a sort entry here where we're saying we're adding to it, but we tell it to add 0 to it, that tells it to erase any data that is already in the sort entries. Alright, so then we're going to go around our loop for I equals 0 to I of 799, going 4 at a time. That's going to be the offset to every one of our entries in text data. So at first I is going to be 0. So we're going to add to the system sort data an entry 4 long coming from text data plus I, where I is going to keep changing for 200 times. So we're making 200 entries into the sort data. Then as soon as that's done, we're going to do the sort. Now the sort knows what data it's to sort because we put it into sort data using add T. When it is done, it's going to tell us in counter how many it found. Well, we sure hope it found 200 because that's how many entries we made. And here in the list called index, it's going to put the index for every one of them in the order that they would be had they been sorted. What that's to say is this is an index out sort. It's not actually sorting all these 4 character long entries. It's going to tell us the index number of the first one, then the index of the second one, and the index of the third, and so forth till it gets to the 200th one. We're going to use that index then to go get the characters for that particular entry. Well, we're going to go around a loop down here for I equals 0, and we say till I gets to the counter 1 at a time. But we're not going to go to 0 to the counter because that would end up being 201. So what we're going to do to get away from that is subtracting 1 from the counter, which is 200, and making it 199. Then we can go around I equals 0 to 199, and that's 200 of them. So What we first did here was we set K to 0. We set J inside the loop here to the index value. Well, we know that they're all 4 apart, so we have to multiply that by 4 to get to the offset of the one it wants us to go to. So here, text data plus J. Now that we want to move into our sorted page, increasing it by 4 each time we get a new one, and here it adds 4. Remember back here, K started at 0. So we're building a page here of the ones in sorted order. Then after that, we set our Y to 270. Say, we didn't set X. Well, that's because we're going to accept the same X as up here. You don't have to give X again if it is the same, but you better make sure it is the same. But you'll see when you show it on the screen. Well, anyway, then we have another box text. Again, it starts out 123,000. That means it needs the value of L, M, and N. Well, we're lucky in this case again. It's the same values of L, M, and N up here. 80, 20, and 10. So we have that. And then it says 4 characters. Well, that's right. Each entry is 4. 0 for the click number, indicating these are not updatable. It's just going to show these text boxes, which there are 200 of them, and the data is coming from the page called sorted. Okay, this is the input box app, the part routine for text boxes.